back in here for another footballing battle, man. It's two of who I view as the two of the greatest wingers of all time. These are two of the greatest wingers of all time. It is your boy Luis Figo and the big man Ryan Giggs himself. These are two titans of the winger sport, and I think we're in for a great showdown. So without further ado, let's ride. So the first attribute is crossing. Who was the best? Who was the better crosser? Who was the most superior crosser? Because again, crossing for me, this is one of the most important aspects of being a winger. Both of these guys were very good at crossing. I think, remember, see, the thing about Figo is these guys, they took it back. They took it to back in the day. They took it to back in the day of what it meant to be a natural, good, old school winger. Because I think right now we now have inside forwards who now want to score and are required to score the 15, 20 goals like yours, like people like Sterling, Cristiano, and so forth. But back in the day, you had your wingers who their primary function was to provide for the attackers, because this was back in the day when you had two strikers, and where the striker really was there to finish and relied upon the winger. So looking at both of these, the who was the most superior crosser? Who is the most superior crosser? I'm gonna have to roll with Giggs. I think Giggs. It is close. Both of these guys were quality at crossing, but I just think that the Giggs. I think consistency. I think Giggs's consistency of quality delivery from his wing was amazing. You know, it was completely amazing. Just the way that he would wrap his foot around the ball was stellar, and just the way that he would be able to deliver that ball over the top, how it just curved through and everything, I just think was amazing. So I just think if we're looking at the art of crossing, the quality of crossing, you know, I'm looking at Giggs. I'm really looking at Giggs. I just think Giggs had that skill better put down than I think Figo did. But it was close. Figo was a damn good crosser of the ball. He was a damn good crosser of the ball, and he knew his job. But if I'm looking at both of them, consistency of quality, I think Giggs take, because I'm just liking myself back to those Man United days under Ferguson, when United were really rolling, man. Giggs put in some damn good crosses. You know, Giggs, and remember, Ferguson was all about consistency. You know, so there was none of this razzmatazz and everything. Because sometimes, you know, Figo, the Galacticos and everything, like, yeah, Giggs under Fergie, bro, if you ain't doing your job, you're on that bench. I just think he drilled it into him of like, it is imperative and important, especially how counter-attacking the way that you put in a good cross. So yeah, Giggs takes that. Ball control. This is super easy. Super easy. This is this dude's greatest attributes, or rather one of his greatest attributes, man. Very simple. No arguments. I didn't want to hear any debate. Quite easily, the superior ball control goes to Figo. Figo's ball control, my God. Guys, we're on the platform of YouTube. If you don't believe me, please go onto YouTube. His ball control is sex. It's orgasmic. I mean, how the close quarters control of it is just, I mean, there's nothing more to be said. His ball control is stupendous. It is just a joy to watch. And Giggs doesn't hold a candle to Figo with regards to the ball control. I just think, you know, just when you're just watching Figo move with the ball, superb. So his ball control, perfection, absolute perfection. So ball control with Figo. Dribbling, bro. Both very good dribblers. Both very good dribblers. We all know that Giggs's goal, one of the greatest goals scored in the Premier League, FA Cup, or you know, whatever you want to call it, is that goal that he scored against Arsenal to knock them out during the treble-winning season for United. And that was just stupendous, amazing dribbling. As in the way that he got past 2, 3, 4, 5 guys was amazing. So Giggs is an amazing dribbler. Figo's dribbling is also stellar as well. But bro, I'm sorry, man. Because again, for me, like dribbling for me is my baby. You know, this is an attribute that is very close to my heart. Luis Figo, bro. Luis Figo. I think Figo's dribbling skill, bro. I don't even want to, like, his dribbling is just magnifique. I mean, just the way he'd move right, left, feint, dummy, bamboozle, trickery. Oh my God. It's like just how he dribbled. It's poetic. Just absolutely poetic. And also the key thing is that, and I think just what makes him supersede Giggs is both feet. Both feet. It was right foot, left foot, and both feet are as strong as one another, so you don't know whether he's going right or going left. I'm going to do it for that. Dribbling goes to Luis Figo 100%. As you know, balance. Balance. I think this is a very key component for a winger, especially on the counter-attack. It's how good are you running with the ball? How good is your balance running with the ball? And for me, this is one of this dude's biggest assets. And it's something that I already mentioned before previously in one of the most famous goals that he scored. The balance, I'm going to give it to Giggs. Giggs' balance on the ball was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Figo's was also very good as well. Not the same degree as Giggs, because Giggs could be extremely quick on the ball, not lose control, not lose that direction, and knows exactly where he's going. So his balance, focus, control, with running with the ball at speed was a sight to behold. And he was doing this into his late 30s, man. So I think balance, I'm riding with your boy Giggs here with balance, man. Clutch. Who was more clutch? Bro, 88th minutes, who do I think is going to come up and do something amazing for me? It's just close. I think both of these guys had it in them. You know, Giggs, Figo had it in him in Euro 2000, so Giggs have it in him. But if I'm looking at both of them and their playing styles and how they played, who do I trust to come up clutch a lot more between both? Gonna have to say Giggs. Gonna have to say Giggs. I just think Figo sometimes in those biggest moments, he never really would show up. So if I'm looking at a player to try and do something for me amazing in the key moments, it's between Giggs and Figo. I just feel that Giggs' mentality to show up on the biggest stage and do something for me on the biggest stage, I think was greater for Giggs than it was for Figo. And I just have more faith in Giggs doing something for me than Figo. I think that Figo sometimes in key moments in games or moments, you know, he just didn't show himself, and I think that's just one of the things that holds him back from being a true legend in the game. So clutch for me, I'm rolling with your boy Giggs to come clutch for me. Creativity. Who was more creative? Who is the more creative mind? Again, especially with your winger, you also have to create for your attackers as well. I'm gonna have to say Figo, bro. Honestly, Figo. I think Figo's imagination was just far greater than Giggs. Giggs was good, but I think Giggs was much more about being consistent and just being effective. I think Figo brought more magic, more je ne sais quoi, more magnifique to his game, and there was a bit of silk. There was a bit more silk to what Figo brought. So I just think with regards to being more creative with the ball and with the football, I'm gonna have to roll with Luis Figo there, and I think it's a clear one. I think Figo was just a far more magical. That's good. I think he was a far more magical player than Giggs was. Final thing, you know, we're all square here, 3-3. Shooting. I think even as a winger as well, you definitely had to look at the shooting attributes and your finishing, because sometimes if you couldn't cross the ball, you now have to put it onto your right and now try and take that shot to yourself. Both these players were very good at shooting. Both of them showed their quality in finishing in the goals that they have scored. But how do I decide who was the better, more accurate finisher? Who was the more precise sniper of the ball? And looking at their games, because I watched these guys extensively, fully throughout their careers, both Figo and Giggs, with regards to being a better finisher, more precise shooter, say Figo. Say Figo. I think Figo was just a better shooter. He was a better finisher. I just think when you look at some of the goals that he scored were outstanding. I mean, for me, that goal that he scored against England at Euro 2000, I was watching it live. One of the most ridiculous goals I've ever seen in my life. Just a flipping stupid goal. Go look it up. His goal against England in Euro 2000, stupid goal. So just think, I remember, Figo could hit that ass with the right foot. He could get that ass with the left foot. Hit it with the right, get it with the left. So, and I just think his shooting, I feel, was more accurate, more varied, and more dynamic and more diverse than I think Giggs' was. So with that, I'm just going to just say the better person at finishing and shooting was your boy Figo. So there you have it. Figo wins his 4-3. He wins his winger battle. Who knows? Do you want to see Figo against Leroy Sané? You want to see Figo maybe against David Beckham? You know, see how that rolls and how that goes down. But I think, again, let's hear views. Let's hear comments. Let's hear a back and forth here, because I think, you know, these for me, the reason why I did this, I believe they're two of the best wingers of all time. You know, I don't think you can name me better wingers overall than these two. And when you just put everything together of crossing, ball control, shooting, balance on the ball, dribbling and everything, I think that these guys go for it. Of course, people talk about Garrincha and everything, but for me, I may probably put these guys maybe above Garrincha as well. I just think Figo and Giggs are really at the zenith and at the forefront with regards to wing play. And I think the beauty is they took it back. You know, people seem to forget what was required of you as a natural winger. I love inside forwards, and I think it's beautiful how the game has evolved. But spirit thoughts for wingers who their job was trying to beat their man, get to the byline and cross the ball. And they were judged upon how good your cross was, and the striker would berate them. And the coach would berate them and say, bro, your crosses have been crap in this game. But they were required to cross the ball for the strikers and also to try and also score as well and try and actually get some G's as well. So more was put upon them, and the more was expected them to vary their game. But I just think, to give some account, it was close. I have to say Figo or Giggs in this one. Comment below, let's hear your thoughts. Give me other battles that you want to see, and I'll see you guys next week for another football battle. Stay black, stay real, stay healthy. Peace out.